you talked about the rapidly increasing pace of these disasters and these events. Thinking really long term, you're an energy company. Talk a little bit about renewable energies and what we can be doing, what you're doing to really look long term for our children and our grandchildren, so that we can have a future where these events are not continuing to pick up pace.
Yeah, that's a great question. And you know, at Duke Energy, we're leading the largest energy transition in the country. We have an all of the above strategy. We're trying to balance reliability, affordability, and to be ever clean. So we just got approval in North Carolina for our plans to continue to build renewable energy, solar and batteries, but also gas plants to be able to retire our coal plants and keep the reliability and affordability of the customers. So that's important as we move forward, as well as making our grid ready for the future with electric vehicles, with folks having their own batteries and solar on their homes. The grid needs to be different than it has been in the past. And then we talked about the resiliency that you need on the grid with the climate issues that are coming at us a little faster and harder.
How do you, President Sideris, when I think about all the challenges, we had both secretaries of Commerce in North and South Carolina here, and they both said that one of the biggest challenges for business and development is that what they called an energy crisis that's coming, and that's able to supply the energy for all the growth, et cetera, et cetera. You've got AI, you've got EVs, you've got the power grid, as you said, the Duke is out in front of. How do you do that? How do you plan for that? And especially given the scrutiny as a public utility that it's under, how do you move all of these things forward and do it in a good way?
Yeah, Chris, what I would say to that is we have a very robust process we call our integrated resource planning, and we look ahead into the future. We work with all stakeholders across the state, with environmental groups, with business leaders, with other agencies, with our regulators, to make sure that we are understanding what the future is going to hold. And I've been with the company for 28 years, and I've never seen growth that we're projecting in both states ever. So it's an exciting time, and we have to plan for it, and we're hooked at the hip with the state agencies. You mentioned the Commerce departments. As we're bringing economic development in, we're working hand in hand with them to make sure that we're ready with the infrastructure as well with the power. And our plans are projecting that and constantly staying ahead of that. And I'll tell you, we have had to revise them pretty quickly here lately because they keep coming in faster and fiercer, which is a great thing for the states. They're bringing in jobs, they're bringing in tax revenue, and then the Carolinas are a great place to live. So,
John?
So you mentioned the Carolinas. Of course, as you said earlier, you've also operating in Florida, you're operating in Indiana, Ohio. These are states that have very different laws, very different regulatory processes, sometimes rather different policy priorities when it comes to energy and the environment. How do you manage a company that operates in all these different places and it is closely regulated in all these different places?
John, you're right. They are very different, but they are similar in one way. They all want to bring in economic development, grow their states, and take care of the customers. And those are things that we have values in as well. We want to take care of our customers. We want to provide reliable and affordable energy. So we find that common ground in each of the states and been very successful at designing programs and plans for the future that do that are beneficial to the state and are beneficial to serving our customers.
Georgia?
You fuel communities quite literally, but you also do that through your corporate philanthropy, through giving, and you gave recently to the 1SC Fund, even in the midst of your own expensive crisis, right? Can you talk a little bit about the role of corporations in giving to the nonprofits to build up communities in broad ways?
So at Duke, our purpose is to power the lives of our communities, our customers, and the vitality of our communities. We're part of the communities, and you talked earlier about the media going away, and we will still be in Asheville helping rebuild, helping hook up customers that their businesses are destroyed, because we've been there for over 100 years. We're going to be there for the next 100 years. So being part of the community and investing in that community is very crucial to what we do. And our teams and our employees go above and beyond to help. They put on their little blue shirts and they go out and help the community any which way they can. And the storm was just something that we felt, not only do we have to get the power up, but we have to help these communities in other ways. And our foundation stepped in and did a lot of help, and we appreciate the work that both of your foundations and agencies do, and other agencies in the community.